Hello everybody, this is a new video in a way different style. The Rise of the Crimson Dragon Emperor. I'm gonna read this story, which is published by Darf-T3FF3 on fanfiction.net. The HTML, the link will be listed down in the description. And let's start. Chapter 1. To start, I don't own this story. The owner doesn't. The maker from the story also doesn't own High School DxD or. Yeah. Like he says in his story, I don't own anything. Which in this case is correct. Chapter 1. Birth and New Life. During the Great War, an angel female and a devil male fell in love. Knowing that they would be killed by their own faction, they kept it a secret kept for 300 years into the war, until other angels started noticing a dark aura around her. Most angels thought she was trying to prevent herself from falling and left her alone, in an unknown location. Meeting with each other was always the risk of being caught or followed, but this meeting was more important than any other times they met. Though he was the devil and he waited for her during the times she did the safe sex ritual. She loved how romantic he was when they were away from the battlefield. "My darling devil," she asked, "I have news of the utmost importance." She stopped to take a breath for courage. She saw the sorrow on her face and asked. He saw the sorrow on her face and asked, "What is it, my love?" As he held her hands in his. She looked into his eyes as tears started slowly creeping out hers, and said, "I'm with child, and is due in 5 months' time." She thought he would be worried or angry bringing a half and half into the world, especially during these turbulent times, but she was shocked and happy when he held her in his arms and gave her a kiss. But all the feelings he had went south when she continued her news. "I can feel the energies within this child fighting each other for domination." She paused. "And if we don't find a way to prevent each from clashing when a child is born, it will die." He looked into her with despair on his face. Then he asked, "Does anyone in heaven know of this?" She shook her head and replied, "No, no one knows of us or this child." He stood up thinking she was sad and thinking he will leave her to fate, but he held his chin within his right index finger and thumb and looked her in the eyes. He said, "We'll have to leave heaven and the underworld behind if we want this child of hers to survive." She looked at him and asked, "Where will we go?" And he replied, "The dimensional gap." In the dimensional gap. Within the dimensional gap, there was a great rat. Is a mess. Let's start a sentence again because I just noticed a mistake in this sentence, which isn't that big of a deal, but okay. Within the dimensional gap, there was the great rat. He is a massive red western dragon with a horn on his snout. His overall length measures around 100 meters, rolling around, doing what appears to be cartwheels and other tricks. The couple looked at him, and when he got close, the devil stood in his way. The angel, fearing for her lover's life, was about to look away, but was surprised when the dragon of dragons stopped and snorted at him. "Who dares obstruct my path?" he bellowed upon the devil. Tell me why I shouldn't smash you where you stand. The devil kneeled in front of the dragon and said, Great Red, I'm but a lowly devil, and my love is an angel. I have one request, and you may do as you wish to me. At this gesture, the dragon looked at the angel with his golden eye, and he sniffed her. You are with child that is half and half. She nodded at him and said yes. Great Red looked at the devil and asked him, What is his request already, knowing the answer? With this, the devil replied, The mixing of light and dark energy will kill our child upon birth. We humbly ask you to help us balance the powers of both. Fearing the dragon would deny his request, the man did not raise his head to look upon the dragon. Why would the dragon help a lowly devil and angel? He is a mass of power and destruction. He can easily kill them like swatting a mosquito. Sure, I can do that, Great Red replied, but she cannot leave the dimensional gap and has to stay on my back until after the child is born. Knowing this, the couple agreed. The man was happy as he held his love and placed her on top of Great Red's back, kissing, and told her that he'll be right back, and he left and came back within an hour with food and supplies for the stay. 5 months later. Come on, honey, one more push, the man told his love. During the 2 weeks, Great Red was slowly giving some of his energy to the unborn child, so that it will be born, 1 part angel, 1 part devil, and 1 part dragon. But now it was time for the child to be born. Even though the devil has left the dimensional gap to attend his duties and his involvement in the war, the angel never left the gap, but she left a message in heaven saying that she fears that she'll fall, and she has left for solitude to prevent herself from becoming a fallen. Among the 3 currently in the gap, another has just entered, a baby boy with light brown eyes, crying and screaming as he is being held in his mother's arms. What should we name him, dear? The angel asked her devil lover. He looked at her and shrugged his shoulders, indicating that he had no clue, just enjoying the bliss of being a father. Great Red coughed, indicating that he wanted to name the boy. The couple noticed this and asked Great Red to name the child and be the boy's godfather and caretaking, knowing that they both had to return to their duties as angel and devil due to the ongoing war. As much as he would like to say no to the latter, he agreed after naming the boy Issei. They came to the dimensional gap to take care of him during the times they had free, sometimes together and most times alone. His father was the first to die in the Great War right after his first birthday. He died while protecting Lady Gramarye from a light spirit aimed at her. His mother was heartbroken, depressed, but always smiling when she was with her son, wishing she could take him out of the gap, but feared the other angels will kill him on sight, and her for creating him with the devil. It was only 4 days before Issei's 7th birthday, when his mother was called to the front lines. Her garrison was ambushed by devils, led by the house of Marcus Nerberius, and with her last breath to Great Red, she asked him to take care of her son, for him to care for her son. Great Red, hearing this, used his magic and opened a small gap into the heaven, into her quarters, and took everything she wanted to give to her son. Toys for his birthday, the letter to him from his father, the picture of his parents at the lake during sunset, and any other items to say she was involved with the devil and gave birth to Issei. When he was done removing what he needed to remove, he was wondering how to tell a child who was about to turn 7 that his mother just died. On her 13th birthday, Great Red gave Issei the letter that was written to him from his father all those years ago. My son Issei, first of his name, if you are reading this, then the worst has happened, and I, along with your mother, have perished in the war. I was but a low-born devil born to serve the house of Gramarye, and your mother an angel, under the command of Archangel Gabriel. I know it's hard to accept why two natural enemies would love each other, but we did, and through that love you were born. My only regret is I will not see what kind of man you will become, but I know I will be proud of the choices you make, and I will watch over you in the afterlife with your mother Lorne, your father, Markali Fascinari. As Issei read the letter, a single tear fell onto the letter, and that was the last time he ever cried for his parents. With new determination, he talked to the one being who has been by his side. Hey, Uncle Red, he started. Can you train me how to use my powers? Great Red just huffed at him and said, I was wondering how long I had to wait before you suggested it yourself. Here comes your first lesson. Dodge! He yelled, sending a fireball straight at him. And so began Issei's training. Many years later, the training was brutal. With Great Red's help, he mastered different styles of martial arts and swordsmanship, along with his mastery over his holy and demonic magic. Also due to the power he got from Great Red, he also acquired the ability to transform his body into a 25-meter tall crimson dragon, how to create a pocket dimension. Also his wings. At first he had 1 pair of each, now he had 3 pairs of each, giving him 18 wings. Great Red also told him he's as strong as the heavenly dragons before they got sealed. He also learned how to manipulate 1 of each set of wings to show up at a time. He also made his own magic circle, which consisted of a dragon's head with ram's horns on both sides. In the middle of the dragon's head, and 1 pair of both angel and devil wings spreading behind. I'm gonna restart this paragraph because I apparently made a few mistakes reading it. The training was brutal. With Great Red's help, he mastered different styles of martial arts and swordsmanship, along with his mastery over his holy and demonic magic. Due to the power he got from Great Red, he also acquired the ability to transform his body into a 25-meter tall crimson dragon, and how to create a pocket dimension. Also, his wings. At first he had 1 pair of each. Now he has 3 pairs of each, giving him 18 wings. Great Red also told him that he's strong as the heavenly dragons before they get sealed. He also learned how to manipulate 1 of each set of wings to show up at a time. He also made his own magic circle, which consisted of a dragon's head with ram's horns on both sides, a cross in the middle of the dragon's head, and 1 pair of both angel and devil wings spreading behind the dragon's head. During his training, The Great War came to an end. God died in battle with the original 7 princes of the underworld after being weakened while sealing Trihexa and creating the sacred gears. Then the civil war of the underworld between the old Mao faction and the new Mao faction, with victory going to the new Mao faction, and the creation of the evil peace system. Issei took these times to travel to Earth between the one sec, I think I found it again. I'm gonna restart the paragraph. God died in battle with the original 7 princes of the underworld after being weakened while sealing Trihexa and creating the sacred gears. Then came the civil war of the underworld between the old Mao faction and the new Mao faction, with victory going to the new Mao faction and the creation of the evil pieces system. Issei took these times to travel Earth and stayed in hiding. He could always sense it when somebody from the 3 factions was trying to get near him, so they can sense what he was, even though he did his best to hide power and stay below the radar. His power still leaked a bit. It was during these times when he sensed someone following him. And like always, he lost whoever was following him. He was enjoying his time on Earth until one day he was standing in a park in Europe and saw a young boy playing with his parents. He left the park and teleported back to the dimensional gap. "Hey Uncle Red, I need your help with something," he yelled at the dragon that was doing tricks in the dimensional gap, who came to stop and looked at Issei. What is it? How has your trip been to the human world?" "I need your help. I wish to use a spell that will revert me back into a baby and with a seal on my body to hide my heritage so I can appear human." Great Red looked and replied, "I can do that, but the seal will break if your life is in danger and your full power and heritage will be awoken." "I see. Let's do it anyways." Great Red looked at him and replied, "There's a catch with the seal. You won't just appear human and not use your hemorrhage powers. You won't even know of it unless the seal is broken and your memories will merge." Issei looked at Great Red and nodded his head in agreement. A magic circle appeared under both of them. And before the flash, Great Red smiled at Issei and told him, "Enjoy being human, but be warned. Even though I sealed your powers, you still carry the scent of a dragon and the aura of both devil and angel," he said as he searched the dreams of everyone on Earth and found a couple who would be perfect for raising Issei. Earth, Japan, Mi Prefecture. A young couple was leaving the Issei Grand Shrine after praying to the Shinto goddess of the sun, Amaterasu, when they heard a child crying in the bushes. Deciding to take a look, they found a baby boy with light brown eyes wrapped in a red blanket. As the couple decided to look for the parents of the child, they found no one claiming the child, and the shrine maiden insisted they adopted the young boy, knowing they always pray for a child of their own. While the couple were looking at the child, trying to think of a name, Great Red decided to help the couple once more, and with a nudge of his powers, put the name into their minds. As the couple looked at each other and smiled, then said to the shrine maiden, "We shall name Issei Hyodo." The shrine maiden smiled and replied, "That's a lovely name for a boy. Let's pray for his success in the future." and with that, the Hyodo family prayed one more time at the shrine. 6 years later. Don't cry, Irikun. We'll see each other again and we'll get bigger. A young Issei was trying to comfort his friend, who just told him that her family is moving to England because of her father's job. But Issei-kun, we will find new friends and forget about me. She stood in front of him crying. He held her hand and told her, I'll never forget you, Irikun. When she heard this, a smile appeared on her face and she kissed him on the cheek. Ah, Irikun, why did you kiss me? He yelled in shock. Because girls always kiss the boys she likes. When he heard this, his whole attitude changed, and as he looked at her like he was seeing something new for the first time and replied, Irikun is a girl? Upon hearing this, she delivered a punch to his stomach and walked away, then looked back. Seeing her friend holding his stomach, she pouted while saying, Stupid Issei, I can't believe he thought I was a boy. Waving goodbye at Irina and her family, Issei stood outside with his mom and asked her, Hey mom, do you think I'll ever see her again? She looked at her son and replied, I'm sure you'll see her again someday when you get older. Hearing that, he smiled and walked back home holding his mother's hand. And then the author wrote, This is my first story, read, review, comment. Yes, about this, don't comment on my video if you like the story. Comment on the story itself. That is probably a better thing to do, because the author can do something with this and I'm just reading it. Brutally honest, it's way easier. And I'm feeling a bit tired, so I won't, record another chapter of this today. But let's see. Next video will be chapter 2, Death and Old Life. So this is for the next video, and see you then. Bye.